Hi everybody, Stefan from EDC Austria here. Sorry for the few days delay on this EDC Bag video, but yeah, things are slowly returning back to normal, so it'll be back on a normal schedule soon. I've everything still packed in the bag, so I will unpack the EDC bag right as I took it home from when I was outside today. The only thing I have already here, because I wanted to talk about it, is the iota, which is a spork and a bottle opener from CRKT, which I did get some use of in the hospital when I ordered in lunch in the evening, and when I needed a knife and a fork. So I usually use either the Kershaw injection or the Leatherman as a knife and this as a fork, but it wasn't enough. This is also something I will at some points in this comment about the last EDC video. If you haven't seen it already, here's a link to it. And if you haven't seen it already, please pause this and check it out. This was when I was in the hospital, so now I can talk pretty well about what I actually needed in a 25-day stay and what I didn't need. So here we start again from the beginning. I have here some regular chewing gum, a 5-hour energy drink. I did use one of those in the hospital, by the way. Here I have my collapsible pair of scissors, because as you might remember, in the hospital I only had the ones that were within the Swiss card from Victorinox, and with those it was still possible. But then I used the SD Mini, the knife, with the scissors, the even smaller one, and then I really cut myself when I used it for my nails. And I have a magnesium stick, which I put back there because it serves no purpose out here. Here I have a Zippo with me, as always. This is a new one, which is the Armor Case Zippo, which is 1.5 times thicker and exactly twice as expensive. I never had a problem with a Zippo, and they fell down from pretty high distances, and I've never had a problem, but still I was curious to see. And it feels, of course, heftier in the hand, but yeah, I like them. And I got through 10 days with the Zippo with regular use, and then, which I have here, with the refill capsule, I got out another 6 days of use, but then I needed a secondary fire source. So we are already in opening number 2. Here's just my regular wallet, which contains everything: credit cards, bank cards, my medical information, which is quite important, driver's license, and so on. I'm still looking for some kind of minimalistic wallet, but so far I haven't found anything, sadly. Because either they are too small or they are too big. There is no in between, at least none that I have found yet. Here is, as always, the Leatherman Sidekick. I was thinking of replacing it with a Genzo multi-tool I bought recently, but it's just too big, and I'm actually trying to see if I can remove a few things from this bag. But as of yet, I still wasn't sure if I have to go back to the hospital very soon. so I kept it packed as tightly as possible so that I would have enough of everything. Here's my secondary source of fire and a bandana. Okay, the last item we had before we conclude the first two pockets is my American chapstick. I always say this is American because it cost quite a bit to get the American chapstick here to Austria, but I wanted the whole experience, kind of. Okay, now let's go to the main compartment. Here is my 1.8 meter anchor cable. It's USB to micro USB with a Samsung charger, which is strong enough to also charge my tablet, but it's usually used for the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, which just lost me my audio. And yeah, my tablet I rarely use because if I have to stay someplace longer, I use my Ultrabook, which you saw in the last EDC video. Here is my iron ration of pills. I don't know if you even use that expression in English, but this is the most essential stuff that I need. If you're interested, let me know and I'll do an explanation of what pills I need on a daily basis. Might be interesting for some of you, especially if you're a chemist or a pharmacist. But it's needed because sometimes I need to take something right away when I'm not home, or if I go to the hospital, and like the last time I went to the doctor and from there went right to the hospital. And on the first evening it's always a bit sketchy to get everything you need. Here is the CRKT Eaton tool, which is replacing the iota that I showed you before. This one is a bit more spacious, kind of, and it has some hex tools which I don't know why you would need for eating purposes, and it has a bottle opener, but otherwise I just use it as a spoon and a fork, or as a fork. And of course, as you see, it's still in its original packaging, as I've just ordered this when I got out of the hospital and haven't used it yet. Here are my Ray-Ban sunglasses, which I've bought in 2009 and then rebought in 2013 after my ex-girlfriend stole them. Was her final act. Here I have some real Ride in the Rain notebook, finally, and inside I have some Band-Aids, which I use the classic version of, which is very common here, and you just cut off what you need, and I use my foldable pair of scissors for that, and that's also easier than with the Swiss card or the small knife pair of scissors from Victorinox. And then we go to the pen. I currently use the V tactical pen, although I keep myself short on this one because there will be a review later on. This one is very, very well machined, although it isn't being made anymore. So if you see it anywhere in stock in any color from V knives, the tactical pen, you should get it technically for under $100. Grab it, because they won't make anymore and it will be worth quite a bit. Here I have my 100 milliliter emergency drinking water, and if you have been lying for 8 hours after waking up before you can get your first drop of liquid even, then you'll remember never to leave home without an emergency ration of something drinkable. It happened to me twice already in the hospitals that they were so strict with their orders that they didn't even give me those little lollies you can suck on so that you have something wet, but that doesn't help. But in 2 cases they didn't even give me that one before surgery, so I had nothing to drink at all, and it was just such a bad feeling. I wish that on nobody. Here's a regular sized rescue blanket. It's always good to have one of those. Here's my emergency bar of soap, because whatever happens you want to be able to take care of yourself. Here are some hand warmers from Hot Hands. These are pretty good, they work well. And now it's mid-March and we still have about 8 degrees Celsius, which really isn't a lot. So I'll be carrying those for another month or 2 and then get rid of them in the summertime. Here is my nicotine pills, which you can chew for about 45 minutes. They have 4 milligrams of nicotine. They work pretty well, but I didn't need them at the hospital. If it was after hours or I couldn't go, then I couldn't go. I mean, I'm an adult about it. Here are some extra batteries. Mainly needed is the AA, as you'll see in a second. I have some super glue and a CR123A, which I always carry because I do have plenty of lights that use that format. And here I've stocked up a bit on AA batteries, and here's some more. Here's a 14500 battery, which is AA sized, a AAA because I usually carry a flashlight on my keychain, and another CR123A. Let's go to the light. I now carry, and the review of this is upcoming, the S1A limited edition. This is the copper version in rose gold. It goes up to 600 lumens if you have a 14500 battery in it, which I currently don't, but it goes up to 220 lumens now, which is plenty. Actually, I just haven't got around to putting in that battery yet, but I wanted to see how long the primer battery lasts just for once, because usually I replace the batteries immediately. Here is a very flimsy rain poncho, but what kept me from buying another one is the fact that I don't have a lot of space, and the better made ones also take up plenty of space. So that's kind of a problem for me. If you have any ideas what I can leave out or what I could add or should add, but remember, I have nearly no more extra space in this, or I don't have any extra space in this, please let me know in the comments. Also, subscribe if you wanna see the reviews that are upcoming, and of course all the reviews we already have. Here is my always present backup pepper spray. That's the Pro Secure from Walter. It's a police strength pepper spray in the ballistic version, meaning it comes out as one stream and not as a fog, so you can aim it directly at the person who is causing the problem. Here I just carry 2 knives at the moment. Here's the Kershaw League, because I was kind of trying out smaller knives, because in the hospital I noticed for most stuff I really don't need a big knife. Even when I was playing outdoors with a piece of wood or so, the Kershaw injection was just fine, but I can't find it at the moment. I did some reorganizing, and I'm carrying with me this also very small, all aluminum with plastic insert, or rather rubber insert. This is the Genzo F6802. Nothing special, nothing to write home about. I think it was $10 or so. I will maybe make a short overview, but not really a review, as it's not worth that. But as for knives, I'm really not sure what I'll do, because I have the Para 3 now, and that's a 3-inch blade with a cutting edge of 2.62 inches. So that's already pretty, it's not that well balanced yet. And that's already a very small knife, and I don't want to leave home with 2 small knives, so I might have to get a big one back in the bag. I want one big one with me, so I guess it has to depend on what I'm carrying that day, because except for those few and a very few others, I usually have 3.5 to 4-inch bladed knives. Oh, and finally we do have my mirror, which this time you won't catch me by mistake. Here is my Swiss card, which I think you know. I've shown a few times. But I managed to cut my nails with these scissors, and it worked fine. You have the small knife, toothpick, even a tiny pen if you really needed to write something. And of course, something I always carry now, just for my personal entertainment, is a spinner. This is the Stedman CK01, I think is the branding of this one. I'm waiting for the Papiaka 3.0 to come out, but they are only releasing 2,800 pieces, and they are not saying exactly when, so I'm checking from Russia with Knives every day. I really want one of those, and I do have a few others, but I really like this one and another one I've shown in a review. I'll link it up there. Okay, that was it. Again, if you see something that I need, or if you didn't see something that I need, please let me know what it is. And if you saw something you think I don't really need, also let me know. And please subscribe for future videos. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.